We can talk about The Last Showgirl now.
Okay.
So The Last Showgirl, I had a request to watch this film from my sister.
Also, knew zero about this movie before we went.
Yeah.
At least
I didn't really watch it all. I know the whole premise, so I can still have a conversation on it. But you did watch it in theaters.
I did.
How was that experience?
I did not go to sleep. Also,
Nice. So
I did not go to sleep.
How was that experience though?
I enjoyed it a lot. Actually,
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I saw that movie beginning to end. I enjoyed it a lot. The
actors are great in that film.
Yeah, they
we
are.
can just start off with that.
Yeah.
Right. Like
they are
Pamela
really, really...
Anderson, which was the main character, the actual showgirl herself, and her best friend Jamie Lee Curtis, the older lady, the diner
redhead,
lady,
yeah.
the redhead,
Yeah, the redhead, yeah.
yeah. She's funny, mind you. She's really funny.
Yeah,
Like,
she was kind of funny. She was kind of funny in this movie. She was a little more obnoxious.
Yeah,
she's one of those people. She's like that annoying friend, but like she always means well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, what's one of the people you gotta have around,
right?
You know what I mean. But also too, I was surprised. Dave Bautista's character was kind of like really weird and awkward, but I guess that's what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So in that sense, like he killed it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Everybody actually was like really good in this movie. I understood it, right? Like I connected with it.
Yeah.
In the sense that
this is kind of like a character profile at the end of the day. This is a case study of someone's mind and someone's life, which is kind of sad. Like if you step back, I know the movie ends on a high-ish note, kind of,
yeah,
right. But it kind of like leads you on to believe, like, okay, you know what, she's that showgirl, right?
Yeah,
but she's not. She never was. She only got that job because she was young and pretty in the 80s.
Well, I don't know. So for me, this movie is sort of about the decisions you make and like essentially how you feel about them afterwards. Like it was really big on like careers,
yes,
and life choices,
and also relationships.
Oh yeah,
with her daughter.
Yeah,
and all,
exactly.
You know, like that was a.
But yeah, I think it did a really good job showcasing that. Especially that's supposed to be their dynamic. There's like three girls or three main showgirls that you follow, right? And to me, it was supposed to be the progression of like her, where it's like you start off kind of young and dumb, and then you get to like Brenda Song's character, who's like here's because she has to be, you know what I mean, not because she wants to be. And I feel like that was definitely Pamela Anderson in the middle part of her career, especially after she had her daughter.
Yeah,
where it was just like she tried to move twice. She tried to apply to different shows, but you know she became the poster girl for that original show. She got a taste of stardom and she just could not let that go. And that ended up being like her crutch throughout her life.
It's kind of her downfall.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then especially when she was raising her daughter, okay, she never once thought to like branch out, choose different career options or anything.
Nothing.
Well, now she's here because she has to be. Now she has to work here because like where else is she gonna go?
Right.
You know what I mean?
She has nothing left.
Yeah. And then she ends up having to give away her daughter because like in her mind it's like this is all she can do.
Yeah.
This is all she is. This is all she can be. And she kind of just sticks to that. Then you get to her at like Pamela Anderson's character, where it's like she's wasted so much of her life in her career that like she tries so hard to justify it. It's like really sad, especially when her daughter when her daughter finally gets introduced. And like, I guess like a lot of the early conversations with her and her daughter, it's just supposed to be her trying to justify her own actions where like her daughter's like, hey, like I really want to be like a photographer, but you know, my stepmom wants me to do graphic design because it makes more money and this and this and that. And she's just trying to convince her daughter like, no, like do photography. Like if that's what you like, it doesn't make any sense to do something you don't love for the rest of your life. If you're gonna hate it anyway, shoot for the stars, essentially. But at the same time, she looks at her mom and it's like, yeah, but you chased your dreams
and look where you are.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like eating cup noodles for dinner.
Yeah.
and like can't afford your rent type thing.
What's crazy is I've actually had this topic has been brought up in my family. My family is like talking with each other, right? Where you know, me, my mother, and my sister, we kind of all sat down and like talk about these things because. My sister, she lived in Los Angeles for a while, and so being there, I've heard a lot of stories and a lot of people, and as you see these stars, these Hollywood people or even just people that even aren't stars but have a small following and everything.
They're chasing their
in their 20s, 30s. But then once you get to 40, 50, you know, you don't have the same look, you don't have the same charisma, you don't have, you're kind of just an old person at that point.
Yeah.
No one cares about you anymore.
Yeah.
And now you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And you didn't do anything. And that whole time when you're 20s, 30s, you know, up to late 30s, really, that's usually when it declines for most people. And you didn't do anything with your stardom and your looks and your time and your money and your fame when you had to. Now it's too late. And now you have no degree, no job, no career. You better hope you didn't spend all that money. And you better hope you can still live. But also it gives you strange relationships and just deals with such a bad mental psyche, and it really does suck, and it's so sad to see because this goes on so commonly, especially here in the US. Well, especially in some of these states where like massive Hollywood people, or even now with TikTok people, Instagram people, you know, people are quitting their jobs, leaving all these things and just living their life because they're enjoying a small fame they got, and then if they ever lose it, they're done. Like what's that one chick that she did a podcast with Drake? You know what I'm talking about? She did a podcast with Drake, Lil Yachty.
I mean, I think she's still pretty. I know who you're talking about. I think Bobby Adams something. Yeah,
Bobby Altoff or something like that. She's lost everything. Her fame. Everyone doesn't care about her. She still has a small following because obviously people like come back to like poke fun at her or everything. But she doesn't have the same money, nothing. And she left her husband, her daughter, her job, any and everything. She left just because she got that small pop and she thought that was going to ride forever. Or now same with like the Hawk Tuah Girl, the best podcast on earth, where she got that one moment and she rode that wave, and God bless her, she rode that wave for a very long time. It's starting to crash now, especially with the whole, she had a really bad crypto scam and all these things going on. So I don't know. To me, it's really cool and speaks a lot of what a lot of people are dealing with. So I liked it a lot, and I loved the ending even, where it was like, she's not that center person. She's in the back.
I mean, personally, I found myself hating her a little bit, like as the movie went on, because she's such a terrible person.
You're not supposed to like her at the end of the day. Like, I feel like that's what it is. You're supposed to be like, yo,
you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to relate to her. I don't know.
Maybe you're supposed to learn to not be like someone like that. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not too sure, but all in all, I liked that film a lot. Honestly, it had its issues and sure, but I loved the message, and it really did. I can relate to it. So I gave The Last Showgirl a 7.5, but I might even be willing to bump that up, depending on what you thought.
A 7.5.
I give it a 7.5.
What do we have next? Den of Thieves?
We have One Day.
One of Them Days,
and Den of Thieves.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it an 8 because I think it was better than One of Them Days.
What?
I do, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So then we'll live with 8 for The Last Showgirl.
Okay.
So The Last Showgirl, 8 out of 10. Loved the character profile. Loved the actors. Loved the story. And it's a sad reality that a lot of people experience, especially nowadays. So watch that film 100%.